In this lesson, we'll establish control for the character's forearm twist via the connection editor. We can start by making a custom attribute. So we'll select the locator we've chosen for this arm's control, and we'll add an attribute. Under Modify, Add Attribute. We can start with a category name. We can call this category forearm. Make it displayable, hit Add. And then we'll make the actual attribute we'll use to control the twist, and we could just call that twist. We don't need a min and max at all. We want complete control over the twist. So that's another reason why we're using the connection editor here. But again, we won't have a min and max at all. We'll just hit OK once we have labeled twist. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and work on the connection here. We know that we want the twist to be basically controlled with the rotation X, similar to the left side. So we'll select our control. We'll go to Window, General Editors, Connection Editor. Again, we can make sure that just everything that is keyable is viewed, so we can uncheck Show Non-Keyable. On both sides, we can go ahead and do that. And then we'll select the bone, the twist bone, load that to the right side, and then that's simply going to twist on the driver's side, and then go into the Rotate X for the driven side. One thing with the connection editor is that as you tie in objects, once you set your driven object, it's going to share the same value as your driver object. So in this case, the twist was set to 0. Therefore, our rotate X is going to be 0. That's another reason why we want to make sure that our objects are cleaned up and zeroed out as much as we can be. And bones, specifically the rotation attributes for them. But now if we were to close this out, we now have the ability, if we selected our control, to completely control the twist of this arm. And this is going to work great for, again, secondary animation. You might even get some really nice follow-through effects with it. Okay, well, before we call this done, we can make sure that we recolor this arm control. Okay, so we can stay consistent. So we'll select our locator, and then we can go to our first tab, enable overrides, and give this a color of red. Wonderful. Alright, so everything is really coming together quite well. Well, what's left to do? What we can do is actually set up the bones for our shoulder pads, and we could also set up the bones that we're going to be using for our hoses to pretty much finish the actual rig of this character before we get to binding. So again, we have a few more tasks to do before we have completed the rig, and in the next lesson we'll set up the bones, and we'll also see about setting up the control objects for our shoulder pads.